Hi, and thank you for joining me for practice today. I hope you feel well and ready for our grounding lower body practice to work with the toes, the feet, the ankles, the legs, and a little bit into the hips, the pelvis, and also to relieve any lower back stress. So obviously, always reminding yourself to take the practice at your own pace, your own range of motion, not to push anything past your point of edge and into pain, and enjoy the practice, enjoy the view. I do. It's a beautiful place to do some yoga. Enjoy. Let's start seated. Coming to a comfortable seat, choosing to have your feet in cross-legged, easy pose, or butterfly, sitting nice and tall but firm yet relaxed, not rigid. The shoulders are relaxing away from the ears, the neck is long, facial expression is relaxed, the area around the eyes is soft. And maybe closing the eyes or choosing to keep the eyes open. Just take the hands out to the side, palms face up, and allow the fingers just to gently curl. Let's come to our breath. Steady samavriti, equal breath, equal in to equal out. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out. Find a regular pace, comfortable for yourself. Nothing is forced. Allow yourself to come into the present moment, the right here, the right now, and to feel comfortable, stable, and grounded just in the place where you have chosen to sit and take your practice today. Try to allow the lower body to rest easy into the earth, relaxing tension through the feet, the knees, and the hip joints. Each exhale takes you a little bit deeper into that release and that letting go. Nice and gently bring some movement into the fingertips. Just wiggle the fingers, wiggle the thumb, stroke the fingertips, stroke the palm. Then start to circle through the wrists, gentle rotation into the wrist joint, circling one way and the other. And taking that into the shoulders, start to circle the shoulders up towards the ears and around. Inhale up, exhale, down and back. A few more. And just give yourself a big stretch, reach the arms up, feel the side body really stretch long here. Reach the fingertips to the sky and ground through the sit bones. So we're having that feeling of rooting and rising. Long spine, give yourself an extra inch, centimetre, millimetre. Release the hands down and gently lift the knees and bring them in and give yourself a big hug today. Relax the chest, the belly, over the thighs, and release the head between the knees. And then let's come to our first work through our practice today of working with our feet. So making yourself comfortable. If you wish to sit on a block, a bolster, or a cushion, please do. I'm going to start to manipulate through the toe joints here. So drawing the toes up towards you and then crunching and spreading the little toe out, the big toe out. So big toe comes into the center, little toe spreads out. We just want to feel some stretching going on into the arches of the feet, the top of the feet. And you can start to lift the leg if you feel that you need more room to work with. Start to rotate through the ankle, one way and the other, pointing and flexing. Just working through your own range of motion here. And then just lifting the foot up and just gently rocking. So what we want to have is a nice long spine here. So you can always stabilize using that left leg and lifting up the right leg. Just open up a little bit into the hip. Try not to slouch back too far here. Keep nice and tall. And then release that foot down. Let's take those little toe stretches on the left. It's just about finding what works for you here. You know, really trying to stretch the toes apart as much as possible. Pointing, flexing, circling, rotations. Finding movement into the ankle. And then lifting up the leg, sitting nice and tall. And again, just holding the foot, holding the knee, and just gently bending at the knee and opening up through the hip joint. And then just coming to kneeling here. So bringing the legs underneath you. We're coming into a toe squat. And this may be a little unfamiliar to you, so take it steady. Tuck the toes under, maybe pad out the knees if you're on a particularly hard surface, and you can always place a cushion underneath the thighs here. So we're going to try and bring the weight back as much as comfortable for the toe arches and the backs, the soles of the feet, sitting nice and tall. Try to breathe and relax into the shoulders and the face here. The more weight that comes back towards the back of your mat, the deeper that stretch is going to be. And if it's very, very deep, bringing the hands down to the mat. Try to relax through the feet. Let the toes spread out underneath you. Holding for a few breaths. Find the inhale. And try and relax, letting go on the exhale. And then coming off of the toes. Take time to recover here. Come into a tabletop. Set the feet back. Try not to make any rash movements. And then let's come into an ankle stretch here. So we're going to come back on towards the heels again, padding out the knees, padding out the shins if you're on that hard surface. And just lifting up the knees, stretching the tops of the feet. Excuse me. And if you find this very, very hard for the feet, maybe your range of motion in the feet isn't that mobile, you can always keep the knees down. Even this is going to stretch through the tops of the feet for you. And gently bring yourself into a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, leveling out the belly, the spine into a neutral position. Choosing to keep the feet flat or tucking the toes. Sway the hips gently from side to side, and maybe you take a look back towards the feet. And then a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, curling through the spine. A few more here. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Bringing yourself back into neutral. Bringing the right foot forward. And that foot can either face forward, or you can start to turn the foot out to the side, winging this dragon lunge here. So starting to bend forward again, padding out that back knee if you are on a hard surface, or rolling up the mat. And then start to circle a little bit through the hips here. So bringing the hips forward and back. Again, gentle mobilization through the hip joints. Try to use the inhale as you come forward and the exhale as you go back. Circle one way and the other. And then bring that right leg back into tabletop. Left leg comes forward, either facing towards the front of your mat or winging it out. Keeping the ankle nicely in line with the knee joint here. Not coming too far forward of the foot. Again, just starting to circle, rotate through the hip. If the hands aren't quite meeting the mat, you can always place them on a block. Circle the other way. And bring it back. Tabletop. Taking a wide leg child's pose. Toes come together, knees go to the outer edges. Palms might come forward or underneath the head. Relaxing the spine down to the belly and the belly down towards the mat. Breathe through the back body here. Find those equal breaths that you had at the start of practice. Gently bring the hands back towards the knees, and as you start to roll up through the spine, draw the knees together. Last thing to come up is the crown of the head. Chin tucks to chest, sitting nice and tall. Relax the shoulders down the back. Relax the hands to the mat. And let's start our practice with some lizard lunges into some half splits. So coming up onto the knee here again, padding out as you need to. And you take these lunges as they come to you today. So maybe dropping the hips forward, maybe using the arms, reaching up towards the sky, long spine, stacking the joints, shoulders over hips, knee over ankle. And reaching the hands down on the inside of that right leg. And dropping the hips even further. Maybe you need to move that foot forward of the mat a little bit more. And maybe again choosing options for yourself, coming down onto the forearms or onto a block. It's a little bit early for me to be able to get all the way down today. It's early morning. And maybe choosing to tuck that back toe and lifting the leg off of the mat, rocking forwards and back. Think of this long line all the way from the crown of the head right back to the heel. Keeping that left hip up away from the mat, pelvis is stable. And coming into a high lizard here, maybe up onto the fingertips, the palms, or blocks, dropping the hips, I should say, not dropping the left hip here, keeping the pelvis nice and stable. Lifting through the belly, nice long back, shoulders are drawn away from the ears, pressing back through that back heel. And release the knee down. You can either flatten the foot to the mat or keep the toe tucked. And then coming back into half splits, bringing that right foot in front of you, drawing the toes up towards the sky. Knee underneath the hip joint here, and just reaching long forward, lengthen through the spine, create the space between the belly and the thigh. Exhaling, start to fold over the right thigh, and if you need to, bend into that right knee. If the hamstrings feel tight, the back of the knee feels tight, inner groin, draw those toes up towards the sky. Exhale, relax the head, let the head be involved. Deep inhales and exhales. Doing great. Gently lifting up and choosing to bring that leg back into tabletop. Sway out through the hips if you need, and taking a child's pose. Either wide leg or the knees can come together. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle through the spine and the hips here so that you can relax the belly all the way down to the mat, resting the forehead on the hands or blocks. Coming into the second side, inhale, and then bringing that left foot forward, again choosing all of the options that we did on the right, foot facing forward or winging. Coming up into that lunge first of all. And then releasing the hands down. Maybe extending that right leg back just a little bit. Again, choosing all of those options that we went through. So coming down onto the forearms if you wish. And it's all about finding what works for you in these postures, finding the breath, keeping stability through the pelvis, long spine, and a steady and even breath. Tucking the back toe if you wish to, lifting the knee. That knee can always still be bent. You're pressing into the toe beds just as we did in those toe stretches, and pressing backwards and forwards through the heel, maybe coming up into that high lizard, fingertips, palms or blocks, lifting the chest, relaxing the shoulders, dropping the hips down towards the mat. And releasing that right knee back, choosing to untuck the toes, bringing the left leg into the center. Drawing the left toes up towards the sky. Again, getting that length into the spine before releasing over. Choosing to bend into that left knee if you need. Breathing into any tightness, any tension here. Letting the head take you down a little bit further with each exhale. And slowly release that left foot forward and bring it back Sway out if you need. Few cat and cows into the spine if you need. And release back into that child's pose as you wish. Let's come up into probably our one and only downward dog in this practice, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up towards the sky, spreading the palms as much as you can, keeping the knees bent for a moment, just pressing the chest back towards the thighs, relaxing the head, looking back through the feet, and then just start to pedal with the ankles, releasing towards the mat, stretching through the soles of the feet, stretching through the calves, the back of the knees, hamstrings. Keep pressing the chest back towards the thighs. Keep lifting through the sit bones as you pedal. And when you feel comfortable, release both heels together on your next exhale breath, keeping a soft bend into the knee if you need, and releasing into downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Slowly walking the feet and the hands towards the center of your mat, bringing the feet to the back of the wrists. A little wider stance here, maybe hip width. Keep the knees wide. Try not to allow the knees to knock in towards one another here. And then give yourself that little bit of space between the belly and the thighs, and lift yourself forward and then start to fold over the thighs, letting the head release, maybe taking hold of the elbows and allowing gravity to take the body further towards the mat here. Sway out side to side if it feels good. Feel that gravity is drawing the upper body and head downwards. Then you can start to release the hands to the mat, release the toes, give the toes a wiggle, feel grounded through the feet, and then you can start to exhale and start to lift through the sit bones, straightening through the back of the legs, not popping into the back of the knees if you suffer with hyperextension here. Letting the head hang heavy. Hips are above ankles. And gently release. Bend through the knees and heel toe the feet out to the wider edges of your mat. Coming into Malasana squat. The knees go wide. Hips drop between the heels, and maybe the heels meet the mat, maybe they don't, that's okay. Lengthening through the spine, hands come into the heart center, and the elbows are helping you take those knees a little bit wider. What we want to try and do and avoid is those rolling of ankles and the knees rolling forward. So if you need to bring the toes forward a little bit, please do, so that you can keep the knees over the middle toes. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths, closing the eyes if you wish to, lengthening the spine, drawing the tailbone down to the mat, the crown of the head towards the sky, rooting and rising. And gently release the hands, and let's lift through the sit bones and release our feet to the front of the mat. So let's take a seated pigeon here. So bringing the right foot across the left knee. Gentle flex into that ankle, pressing away through the sole of the foot here. Hands can come back behind you. The closer the chest is towards the knee, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So just taking 5 breaths here. Try not to sink the neck into the shoulders. Keep up nice and upright through the spine. Nice exhales into those tight areas of the hip, the inner thighs, the groin or the spine. And gently release that left leg forward and bringing that right foot on the inside of your left leg. Sitting nice and tall, grounding, rooting and rising. Inhale the arms up towards the sky and exhale, softly folding forward over that left leg. Relaxing through the spine, the head, taking a bend into that left knee should you need. And start to roll up through the spine. Lifting that right knee in, taking it across and taking a half spinal twist here. Sitting nice and tall, grounding through that right foot. Taking the arm back behind you and maybe choosing to hug that right knee or taking the elbow across. Deepens into the stretch. Finding a nice deep inhale and exhale. Slowly return back into center. Release the legs to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, fall forward, seated fold here. Exhale, let the body come over the thighs. Maybe the hands meet the toes, the ankles, the shins. Take bends into the knee as you need. Use each breath as a deeper release here. And slowly roll up through the spine. Let's repeat all of that little sequence on the left leg. So right leg bends and left leg comes across. Gentle flexion into that left ankle and sitting nice and tall here, you can bring the hands back to support you. Draw the toes up towards the sky, sit nice and tall through the spine, keep the shoulders away from the ears. Use the exhale breath to release tightness, inner groin, hips, thighs. Gently and slowly release that right leg forward and place the left on the inside. So either the thigh or the calf, not by the side of the knee here. Inhale, the arms raise and exhale, fold forward, head to knee pose. Relax the body. Relax the head towards the knee. Slowly roll up through the spine, lifting that left knee and taking it across the leg, ready for our half spinal twist. Sitting tall, take the hand back, clear the belly away from the thigh and choosing that hugging the knee option or the elbow presses against that knee, looking back over that left shoulder if you wish. The inhale lengthens the spine, the exhale may deepen the twist. And bring yourself back into center. We're going to lie down on our backs, so taking a nice, slow, controlled roll down through the spine. Each and every vertebra rolls down, exhaling. Belly draws in towards the lower back draws in towards the mat. Relax the shoulders. And gently, as you come down onto your back, draw the knees in towards the chest and start to roll out a little bit through the spine, massaging the lower back, the waist and the middle back. Take a moment's pause here, a few deep breaths. And taking the knees out to the side, gentle circles, hip mobility. So we're preparing for our reclined work here, which will work through the legs, the hips, the pelvis. And extending the left leg, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. You can keep the foot on the floor with the knee bent, or you might wish to extend that leg all the way along the mat. Feel nice and long here, all the way from toes to crown of the head. You can use a strap here to hold onto this right leg as we extend it up towards the sky on your next exhale breath. Keep a soft bend into the back of the knee. Try to relax the leg, relax through the muscles. Relax all contraction and engagement here. Gently bend the knee, bringing the heel back towards the buttock, and then draw that right knee across the body. Come into a reclined spinal twist. Maybe that foot comes down onto a block, a bolster, or a mat, and just roll over onto the hip, starting to open up through the chest. Arms might come out to the side of the body, palms face up, and choosing to look along the left arm, the right arm, or straight up to the sky. Relaxing into that right side of the body as it stretches in the twist. Use the exhale breath. And as you roll yourself back in towards the center, we bend both knees. We come into reclined pigeon. So just as we were doing when we were seated, gentle flexion into that right ankle, and maybe the fingertips interlace underneath the knee. Relax that foot, relax that leg. The deeper that you draw that foot in towards the chest, the deeper that challenge of the posture may feel for you. Keeping the right knee open, maybe using the elbow as leverage. And releasing the left foot down towards the mat. Take hold of the right foot, bent thigh and knee, bent knee here, drawing the thigh down towards the outer edge of your rib cage, outer edge of your mat, giving space into the hip. Half happy baby. A few deep inhales and exhales. Maybe that left leg is bent, opening out, or straight along the mat. Whatever feels good here with that left leg. Gently release the foot. And take a moment in Shavasana here. So legs go long, arms come out to the side. And just notice how long and light that right leg may now feel. Draw both knees in towards the chest, roll and massage out. Maybe a few little circles through the knees one way and the other, and maybe you like to open the knees to give some extra hip mobility. So repeating the reclined leg stretch. Right leg extends this time, left leg goes straight up towards the sky, either bent, using a strap, whatever you need. Use the exhale breath to release deeper. Relaxing contraction in calves, back of knee, back of thigh, hamstrings. It's a soft facial expression, soft in the neck. Slowly relax the leg, heel to buttock and roll over into that half spinal twist again, rolling onto the hip, choosing to use a prop underneath that left leg or dropping the knee or the foot towards the mat, opening up through the chest and really trying to draw this left shoulder blade down towards the mat. Maybe the gaze goes to the right, the left palm, or to the sky. Bring yourself back into center for reclined pigeon. Left leg across right knee, interlace the fingers. Use that elbow as leverage if you wish to, keeping the stability through the pelvis here. Deep exhales as you draw that right knee closer towards you. And releasing the hands, releasing that foot down to the mat, taking hold of that left foot, opening the hip out towards the side, giving you space between the thigh and the rib cage and the waist, half happy baby. Again, choosing what the right leg does for comfort. So more about the left hip, left leg. And gently release. Left leg slides all the way along the mat. Take a moment in Shavasana. Relax the arms out to the side, palms face up. Give the hips a little shake, a little wiggle. And then draw both knees in towards the chest and roll and massage out. Placing the soles of the feet down onto the mat and just lifting up into a bridge pose. So palms face down, and we're going to lift the hips, pubic bone reaches towards the sky, knees lengthen forward, lifting the buttocks. Neck is long, facial expression soft. Plant the feet, relax the toes. Holding for just a few breaths. Lift the hips a little more. And slowly roll down, shoulders, upper, middle, lower back, and the sacrum comes down. Let's take Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet come together, or reclined butterfly pose. Feet can be a little bit away from you here. Try not to bring the feet too close in towards the body so that you can have this nice, lovely diamond shape. Hands might come to the hips here for energy and warmth, or they might come out to the side, or you might wish to take the hands onto the chest and the belly. Relax the elbows. Down by the side, let's take 10 breaths. Nice deep inhale. Sigh out that exhale on the last one. Release the hands from wherever they are. Take them to the outer thighs. Lift the knees in towards one another. And take a restorative rest pose here as the knees drop in towards one another. Heels out to the side. Toes turn inwards. And the arms relax to the side of you. Heel toe the feet in towards parallel and lifting the legs, lifting the arms. Dead bug for our last pose before our final relaxation. Relax the shoulder blades down the mat, but the fingertips are reaching away. Toes, knees, and hips all stacked on top of one another. And if you need to bend the knees here, try not to take the heels too far away from you, because that's going to pull into your hip flexors and start to use your abdominals, and try not to bring the knees too close. We really want to stack the joints. So if you need to, keep the heels above the hips by bending the knees. Try to relax through the belly, relax through the spine. Feel that entire spine grounding you into your mat. Give yourself a smile for your practice today and start to circle through the wrists and the ankles and circle the other way. Great work. And however you felt when you came to practice today, I hope that things are starting to feel a little bit more mobile in the lower body. Bring the knees in towards the chest last time. Lengthen the spine. Tailbone reaches towards the end of the mat. Crown of the head reaches towards the top of your mat. And let's extend the legs into Shavasana. Maybe the knees are bent here. And take the arms a little way away from the body. Relax the toes. Relax the ankles. I'll leave you for a few moments in silence. Taking a deeper inhale and exhale to bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto your mat and into the body by bringing some soft and gentle movement, toes, ankles, fingertips, wrists. Choosing to stretch or draw the knees in towards the chest. Whatever you need to do when you waken from your Shavasana, and never rushing, taking time to roll over to one side, maybe keeping the eyes closed at this point as you use the palm to press yourself up. And let's return back into that comfortable seat where we started our practice. Sitting nice and tall and bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at the heart center. The palms, the thumb, the fingertips all connecting as you find that steady and even breath once more, breathing in all the way to the crown of your head, and as you exhale, allow that breath to travel down the spine, past the hips into the earth. Grounding your practice today and knowing that you have done your best work for yourself. Taking time for you to work through the lower body. I thank you for joining me and hope to see you again.